Hey everybody, this is Ben
and Nora
in the Midwest Model Shop. Today, we're very excited to announce, we've been trying to do this intro for a while now, our Titanic deck chair set that a lot of people have been asking about for a long time. This has taken quite a bit to put together because obviously we had to do tons and tons of prototyping and monkeying around and things like that. So, cut straight to some chase here, right?
Sure.
We have two sets. So the first set has 120 open chairs in it, meaning they're unfolded, ready to sit and recline on and be comfortable. And you get 120 of those chairs. The second set is a mixed set. So that will include 60 chairs that are unfolded. And then you're going to have 30 single chairs that are folded up, like you could put them up against the wall.
the way they would have been on the ship.
The way they would have been on the ship. Then I've included an additional 45 sets of 3 chairs that are grouped together, all folded up. So you have 3 chairs folded up together that you lean up against the wall. That's one group, and you get 45 sets of those. I did that because I saw some photos and read somewhere I thought that that's how they were stored, that they grouped them together in threes, they had numbers on them, and they put them in their spot and latched them. So those are the 2 types of sets of chairs that we're going to offer right now on the website, right? And then there was more to chairs than just sitting in them, right? Because it was cold.
So you talk about how they had them folded. They were folded, and even when they were extended and people were sitting in them and lounging on the promenade deck, the decks were wide enough that nobody was tripping over them because there was plenty of room, and the stored ones were up underneath the bulkhead.
Yep.
So it sounds like the chairs were a really hot commodity.
Very hot.
Yes, very hot. The promenade deck was the place to see and be seen. The chairs were numbered with little brass plates on them so that it made it easy for the passengers to find them. And these chairs were reserved before you even set sail. And I guess some were, you could go to the inquiry office.
The website?
Yeah, to their website, sure. Their app, to the Titanic app. And you could book the chairs for $1. Now, in today's money, that would be $28.
Oh.
Approximately $28.
We're standing.
To reserve a chair. Now, I would have reserved a whole bunch, okay, just because I like my space. But it was not uncommon for women of wealth who had marriageable daughters, or maybe they didn't even have to be of wealth.
Maybe
because
they were
whole
ugly.
The whole idea was to reserve a chair, and then it wasn't uncommon for them to bribe people who worked on the ship
because
to find
they're
out
ugly.
where the wealthy people, young, single men, were sitting. It was like Tinder.
It's too late, ladies.
Tinder with
Too
chairs. But yeah, and they would. It wasn't uncommon for them to even check out the guest list to find out who was actually sailing on the ship, to find out if there were young, single, rich men.
Hotties.
So that was the whole purpose of reserving these chairs, and placement was important, and who was where, and who had the chair. And
These are a
whatnot
commodity.
They were
These
a
are a
commodity.
commodity.
It was a big deal. It was a big whole social scene.
So, I did not know that.
Well, now you do.
Now I do know
And so do you.
All right, so
You're welcome.
The next thing, yes, I am welcome actually. The next thing, so we have a brand new website that's coming, and the reason that I did that is mostly for me to streamline the shipping process. Unfortunately, I'm finding out that I'm looking at maybe another month for the domain to switch, and Nora will tell you this was a super easy process.
Oh, yeah.
So I just breezed right through. So when I found out it was going to take so long, I'm like, forget it. We're just going to put these up for sale on our current site the way that we're doing things. So for right now, just go buy them like you normally do, please. The only thing I'm going to ask is at checkout, please go look at it says edit shipping method when you're ready to check out. And in there, you will see a drop down for your country, and you'll find a listing. It's the same price for the anchor chain sets and for the benches, and I will add these chairs to them. It's the same shipping price. But select that for your country, please. That will get you the correct shipping price. The new website fixes all this, and it makes it just normal process. But if you don't do this, then I got to track you down to get you to pay the balance for the proper shipping, and it's annoying. We're trying to fix this with a new website. It's not ready yet. So that's just how it is, right?
I don't know if I would have let you sit by me.
I know. It's shady business. Too late now. So because the internet is never wrong, I looked it up on the internet. So apparently when the Titanic pulled into Cherbourg,
Charbon.
Cherbourg, it had 613 deck chairs on board. If you are interested in 613 deck chairs, please do everyone a favor, send me an email first. We'll put together a special order for you. I don't want to just wipe out the stock because you'd have to buy, depending on which one you get, you'd have to buy 5 of these. You might want them in a different configuration. We can customize that and keep the pricing still the same, but get you what you need. So please do that first. And then the last thing I was going to mention, so on the chair, on the pictures of the original, I've seen drawings, and then in the book Titanic Ship Magnificent Volume 2, there's a star right up on the headrest that you lean up against. Now, I can't tell if it's brass or if it's just wood and was carved. I don't know if it was there for sure.
That might have been where they numbered it.
Well, on the back side they numbered it for sure, but on the front I think there was a star. Maybe there was a star, maybe there wasn't. So what I've done is modeled the star on the chair. You're going to need a very teeny tiny paintbrush. You are going to need some magnification tools, but you can paint it on the chair if you would like to, if you think it was there. If you don't think it was there or you don't want to bother with this, just leave the chair brown. You can't see it with your naked eye until you paint it on there. And what we're going to do next is I'm going to go through and demonstrate what you get and the painting process, and we'll put that little star in there so you can see. It's an option. If it was there and you want to put on, you could do it. If you don't think it was there at all, don't paint it, and no one will know. It'll work out fine, right? And I think that's it. So yeah.
That's over $600 in chairs. I didn't have my phone to do the math.
We'll figure that out. All right, so that's it for right now. Yeah, let's get into looking at the chairs.
Bon voyage.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So here's a sample set of what you're going to get. This is an early test print that's got some problems with it, so obviously not for sale. But I'm happy to cut it up here to explain and show you exactly what you're going to be getting. This is the set. The layout's kind of basically what you can anticipate here with all of your open deck chairs. These are the single folded chairs, and this is in the back here the 3 folded chairs. We have the corner protectors, and I had to add these side protectors because during an early part of the printing process, I pulled one of these out and I bumped a few of the chairs in the back, and they just instantly snapped off. And I thought, if that can happen to me, it can definitely happen to you, and it might happen during packaging. So we put these bumpers on here to try and protect everything, which means you're going to have to cut them away. The other set, not too dissimilar to this, you've probably already seen better pictures of it. This is just all the chairs unfolded. They will also have the protectors on them to keep things safe. So again, on the bottom, I tried some of this printed really well where you have the good space. Some of it here, the exposure on the bottom layer, just it didn't work out. That's something I'm perpetually fighting and trying to make work. Long story short, you're going to have to just do the best you can, unfortunately. So get your favorite pair of cutters, and however you feel necessary, you can go ahead and just, bust this off. However you need to, go ahead and get exposure to all of your parts. On the corners here, you should be able to slide your cutters in and just do what you have to do to cut it away and get it out of the picture here. All that matters. All right, so now you have a section like this exposed. Now, unlike the benches, I'm discovering that you really do need to get these apart into individual positions to really paint them in a way that gets everything covered. So you're going to want to have it like this. And obviously I can hold it with my fingers, so you could put some gloves on, paint it, and you can go ahead and put some tweezers on it. But if we get up close here, you'll see some things. You see those three funny looking little triangles? And then there's kind of a funny triangle here on the front leg on the right side. I put those there to aid in cutting away the material so that the legs all end up kind of the same length. So before we get into painting, what I'm talking about is you have your cutters and see how they make a V, right? And they're flat on the bottom. If you flip them over and you put the flat side up and you carefully butt up against that little triangle and you just let it slide up to where it gets tight, you should consistently cut at the same point. And on these, I would start with the front, clip them, and then get these things out of the way. So you're left with your two little legs. And then you've got this part left. And I actually would probably recommend doing this to this stage and then starting to paint from here because you've got these two supports out of the way. So this is the 3 sets of folded ones. So let's go ahead and set that aside, leave it like it is. Let's see, if we move along here, I'll see if I can pull out just, cut this carefully here, get one of these single ones out. And again, do this however you think is best, just to get the one you need. All right, so again, one single folded chair. Do the exact same thing as before. Very carefully cut right here. Very carefully cut right here, and then cut these legs out of the way. Be careful because it's on the little triangles now, but you'll have no trouble accessing the whole thing and painting it. All right, go ahead, rinse and repeat, get yourself all the way up to your main chair. So this one's unfolded. Now you can see on each leg here I've put 3 triangles. I did this because this was the first one I realized, if you don't cut these legs exactly the same length or really, really close, the chair sits funny. So how can I make it so that I can cut it, end up at the same point almost every time? So again, with the triangle, flip your cutters upside down, follow along to where they pinch and snip it. You should be good. This one, you're able to paint everything as is before cutting it away. And so I would do that. I would, figure out how you want to hang on to this thing. So let's go ahead and get some paint on these parts. Okay, so I'm opting to use some tweezers to go ahead and paint these things. They've been washed in isopropyl alcohol, more than 90%. It's like 99% isopropyl alcohol, so they should be pretty clean. If you want to give them a very gentle bath in some warm water with soap when you get them, you can. A very gentle bath and some more rubbing alcohol is fine if you'd like, but please be careful. To say that these are fragile should be kind of an understatement. This is a life color paint I'm using. I used it last time. It's Camouflage Series REL 802. This is German Panzer Rot Brown, and I like it because it provides a just a real rich color, a rich brown. I've used mahogany, U.S. Navy mahogany. It's a much deck mahogany. It's a much browner color. I'll try and keep this in the shot here. There we go. Anyway, I think it looks nice, and it lends itself well to showing off what you're looking at. So you can use any color that you want, but just go ahead and get a nice light coat on all these and let it dry. All right, this one's kind of the fun one, our deck chair, all unfolded for maximum reclinage. Just do the best you can to hit it from all angles. I could print these with higher stands, supports on them, so that they sit higher up. The drawback to that is time. In case you're not familiar with 3D printers, whether the entire build plate is full or only one pixel is full, each layer on the entire build plate takes the same amount of time to print, which means the higher things are, the longer it takes for it to print. And the longer it takes for it to print, the longer it takes for me to go ahead and get these out the door to you guys and make them available. All right, so that's our finished chair right now. That's my air compressor running. Let's go ahead and let these sit and dry up. All right, so after a while and your paint has dried, you can go ahead and do the best you can to cut this off in front of a camera. So those of you who, let's see if I can turn it here, know better that this back leg is on a curve. So I'm trying to preserve the bulk of that curve by cutting like that. And then, can I do it left-handed here from the back? Like that. And then there's your chair. And it's loose. We'll lean it up and look at it in a second here. Let's get the other ones. All right, so these are a little bit more difficult because that center one, it's pretty tight. But if you've got a good pair of cutters and you're careful, they'll fit in between here, and you'll be able to make your cuts. These legs, so I have specifically gone on my way and tested and worked and etc. to get them to the point where they are strong enough to hold everything up. Whoop, there we go, and look the part. So that one, hard to do reaching around a camera here, but actually it worked out okay. Our legs are all right. Okay, so after all that fiddling around, we have the easy one. Because, as previously mentioned, we've got those nice V shapes on there, right? So with these, flip your cutters around so the flat side is up. Just follow right on up and snip right at the top of the triangle. And spin it around. What this should do, in theory, if all goes well, is it should cut the legs at all the same point. So that when you're done, the chair sits on the ground, nice and level and ready to go. So there's one more thing that you could do in the book Titanic Magnificent Volume 2, page 35, 37, somewhere in there. There's the picture of the deck chair, and in the center top there's a star. Now there's an original chair on display in the Smithsonian or something like that. I think the star is missing. I think it's bronze. I would hope that it's bronze, but it would go right there in the middle. So if you have, let's see here, a very pointed and teeny tiny brush with a little dot of gold on it or yellow or whatever you would like to do, you could go ahead and put that dot there for your star, which you can see hopefully right there that I did. I'm showing you this because both of these chairs have the star on it, and in one of them on the left you can't see it, and the one on the right, I think it's well represented accurately. The next thing I wanted to talk about is scale. So I'm not even going to tell you how long this took, but I went ahead and assembled a Pontos, or correction, a KA photo etch chair, all 3 pieces to get this. And as you can see, they're very, very close in size. I think this is a little bit, mine's more accurate, obviously. Because it's 3D, we're able to get the exact shapes and follow along with what the real thing looks like. Mine's a little bit less reclined as far as sideways goes, so you're not taking up quite so much space. You could put these up against the the promenade deck walls there, and it won't be sticking out so crazily. So there's that. Let's see. I also wanted to show you the other chairs leaned up against a wall. All right, there's all 3 chairs. I just put a 1, 2, 3 block here, something to lean it up against so that you could see what they look like. And then one more time for scaling. Try and get this in the shot there. That's a 1 cent. Let's see here. We've got 5 cents. This is 5 pence. And here is another Aussie nickel. And then do I got a dime? Yeah, here's a dime. So as you can tell, they're pretty small. But I think the detail is there. I think the rigidity is there that you're looking for. I think that we have the accuracy, and we've made it so that you can repeatably cut out the deck chairs and have the exact same size experienced every single time, which is really important. And when I slide over the one from Pontos, sorry, this is from KA. This was extremely time consuming to fold and get set up, and I wasn't even going to attempt to paint it. And then of course, you can't put the star on top, whether you think it was there or not. I think it was gold or brass, sorry, and that's optional to put there. So that's it. If you have any questions, feel free, like I said, to send me an email. If you want to do like a special combination order, once again, send me an email. Let's talk that out before we do anything, because there were, I think, 613 of these on board the ship. If you are the person who wants to have every single one of them. All right, that's it. Yeah, everyone be safe. Take care. Hey everybody, this is Ben in the Midwest Model Shop.
And Nora.
Hey everybody, this is Ben
And Nora.
in the Midwest Model Shop. So, what?
You always let me say and Nora. Then you say. How long are you gonna wait?
I don't know.